Behind me, the Organization of American States. In front, the White House. We are at the political center of the Americas. In the middle, the monument to Queen Elizabeth from Spain. A great woman, a great leader, controversial like great men, especially if we judge her acts of 500 years ago with today's values. Let's see her legacy anyway. Her marriage with King Ferdinand of Aragon unified the two main kingdoms of Spain. In a very conflicted time, she supported the crazy project of Columbus of discovering the Indies, assuming, against the general belief, that the world was round. Big bet. Yes, she expulsed Jews and Muslims after 783 years of their occupation. But I would like to highlight her Christian and evangelical spirit. Columbus, in his second trip in 1495, brought slaves to Spain, and the queen prohibited him to sell them. In the year 1500, Queen Elizabeth and King Ferdinand prohibited slavery, 393 years before the USA. In 1503, not only allowed but promoted interracial marriages, generating mestizaje, no word in English, mixed races, a unique feature of the Spanish colonization, a reflection of her evangelical humanistic views. Up to that moment, the general belief in Europe was that the unknown territories were occupied by giants, a mix of humans and animal creatures. In less than 10 years, Queen Elizabeth not only recognized they were persons, but all persons under her crown should have the same rights. When she learned of the abuses taking place of the native people, she writes on the 12th of October in 1504 in her will, and she orders not to accept or let happen that Indians and inhabitants of the Indies and other lands, present and future, will get any harm in their persons or belongings. She died the 26th of November of 1504. But her legacy lasts. In 1512, the Burgos laws, and in 1513, the laws of Valladolid legislate to eliminate the abuses of the colonization. In 1514, new laws ensured the rights of the indigenous people, and it was the foundation for the new laws, leyes nuevas, of 1542, generating a complete new social order in the full Spanish Empire. Later, Emperor Charles I, her grandson, stopped during 6 years the colonization to discuss if it was right or wrong. It is impossible to find a similar case in human history, even today. The School of Salamanca and the moral economy, yes, moral economy, in the mid of the 16th century, and Francisco de Vitoria with his Ium Gentium of rights of the people, generate what later will be called human rights and basically create the foundation for international law. In Mexico today, 90% of the population is mestiza, mixed. In USA, with a strong Anglo-Saxon legacy, only 5.6% of the population is mixed race. There is not even a word in English for mestizaje. How the United States could have been a base in mixed race and not separated races? Now universal human rights begins to be a reality. 500 years later, Queen Elizabeth, a great woman, a great leader. Thanks, Queen.